Change your hair a little bit.
You said I changed my hair a little
Yeah,
bit?
it's not frost up.
Oh yeah, I cut it off a little bit.
How'd the off week go for you guys?
It went pretty good. We had a lot of emphasis on our missed tackles. We know that we had 34. So last week, during our ND drills, we did a lot of tackling drills and made sure we're wrapping the guys up.
A week ago, Boston College played Pittsburgh, and they struggled tackling all night long, and they lost pretty convincingly at home. The other night, they didn't have that much of a problem with Southern Cal. They forced 10 punts. Can a team improve? Can you guys improve that much in 1 week tackling, especially as young as you are?
Oh yeah, of course. A lot of our missed tackles were just angles. We were running to a spot instead of to the guy. So this week, like I said, Coach Vic and the whole defensive staff, we took the time to tackle as a team and tackle in our individual drills. So I think it'll show this weekend.
Running to a spot as opposed to a guy, is a lot of that youth, not to put it on the young guys, but is a lot of that youth, because there's a lot of youth out there, or what is the reason why a guy would run to a spot and not to the ball?
I wouldn't say youth at all, no. A lot of it was the older guys too, myself included. I think I missed 6 myself. It's just we weren't running to the ball, and we were running too late to the ball when it came time to do it. And that's why we were running to those spots instead of the man. And when you just do that, you're going to miss the tackle.
So it's not just the tackle itself, the fundamentals of that, it's before the tackle, it's how you guys react.
Yeah. It's it's a lot of effort. We weren't putting effort into those plays, and it showed in the end when they had those many big plays.
Tim, when you play a team like East Carolina, who's going to be in space, when the wide receivers are in space, how's it going to be if you're not tackling these guys in space like that? How's it going to turn out?
It's going to be just like last year. We're going to get embarrassed. This week we made a big emphasis on saying how they have the receivers on the field, and we're going to have to be able to tackle in space. So if we don't do that, it's going to turn out pretty bad.
Is that what you call last year's game against those guys embarrassing?
Oh yeah, of course. It was very embarrassing. We played horrible at home. We kind of embarrassed our program.
What is this rivalry like? Obviously, a lot of you're from out of state, but the in-state guys talking back and forth. I mean, do they feel like this is they get a little bit more for a game like this?
Yeah, I would say so. You know, ECU they always been beneath us, and I feel like this year they think they're on top of us, and they've been playing like it. You know, they just beat a pretty good team in Virginia Tech, so they have a lot of momentum coming into this week, and also they beat us last year. So this week, if we're not prepared to play, it's going to be pretty bad.
Coach says he's not looking back at last year's game against those guys. Has he kind of wiped that clean, or is that true?
Oh yeah, he's wiped it clean. He hasn't really talked about it this year. As players, we already know what happened, so there's no need to keep on talking about it. It's a new year, it's a new team, new players. We're just ready to play.
Did you watch that game Saturday?
Oh yeah, I watched it.
What were your thoughts through the end of the first quarter?
I wasn't surprised to a point. You know, ECU's been playing pretty good this year. Their chemistry is really good, and they're playing together as a team. So what they did really didn't surprise us, but then we know we need to play.
Carden and Hardy, that as good a combination you guys may face all year?
Oh yeah, I'll say those two are pretty good, a pretty good two-piece. But he also has a lot of other receivers with Worthy and Grayson and all those other guys. So yeah, we have to put our emphasis on Hardy, but those other receivers are also pretty good.
You're from Virginia. As you're watching that game on Saturday, what kind of thoughts? Because you know how good a program Virginia Tech is. Obviously, that's your home, and that area, you know, from Virginia. What were your thoughts on the game as you're watching it? It had been pretty fun just to sit back and watch it, wasn't it?
I really don't know. I knew ahead of time that ECU was a pretty good team, and they're a spread offense, and they have the opportunities to have those big plays. Bud Foster, we all know, is a pretty good defensive coordinator. You know, he's one of the smartest guys out there. I saw that he made adjustments during the second through fourth quarter, but that first quarter, those big plays really hurt him.
I know that coach doesn't like to look any further ahead than the next game, but as a player, did you happen to notice that the opponents on your schedule went 9-1 Saturday, and the only one that lost to another opponent? And that so far in the season, they're 27-7.
Oh yeah, I'm not worried about that. I just know ECU won.
But do you notice that? Do you take a look at what teams you're going to be playing down the road, what they're doing, or a team that you already played, what they did? Do you guys happen to take a look at that?
No, not really. That's how you lose the following week. When you look at teams that you're not going to play yet that week, that's...
Well, I'm not talking about analyzing. I'm just talking about just kind of taking notice. That's all. Just curious.
No, we don't notice anything. No, we just worried about ECU.
Tim, as an older guy, do you talk to the guys about hey, you know, we got embarrassed out here last year because we didn't come out ready to play. I mean, as an older guy, do you, you know, tell the other guys about being ready to play in this game in a hostile environment, and talk about being, you know, playing down there?
Oh, I mean, I played there my freshman year. It was a pretty great crowd. They definitely feed off their crowd. We already heard this week that it's a sold-out game. And as the younger guys, we told them just to be ready. Don't let the crowd get to them. It's going to be a big game, and they're going to play really good at home. As long as we play our game, we should be fine.
Does it make it hard because they feel like people view them as being inferior to North Carolina? Do you think that helps motivate them, and how do you overcome that motivation on their part?
That's fine. They can think what they want. We're going to play our game at the end of the day, and the best team will win.
Did you go home this past weekend?
No, I stayed here.
How much time did you guys have, the players have off?
We had Friday and Saturday off.
Why didn't you go home? Just curious. A lot of guys did go home.
Why did I go home?
Yeah.
I mean, there's really no point to it. I'll do the same thing here or there. I'm
Okay.
just chilling watching football.
You just talk about your defense this year. You know, you all had some takeaways in the first two games. Just talk about the importance of that going forward.
Very important. It helps out our offense and it helps out our defense with confidence. I think we have 9 in the first 2 games, and if we continue that, our defense will make a big improvement and it'll help our offense a lot in this game.
Are you stressing that this week, though, in particular, with how explosive their offense can be, that turning them over could be, be a good equalizer for you guys?
Oh yeah, we know that ahead of time. We talk about it all the time. Our offense runs the same type of offense as ECU, so we're practicing against it every day. And we just know in game time we just have to do the same stuff that we do in practice.
Coach Fedora said that this year's ECU team might even be better than last year. From what you've seen, do you think that could be the case?
Oh yeah, definitely. They're just playing great as a unit, offense, defense, and special teams, and it's really been helping them.
Tim, from an on-field perspective from last year and from what you saw Saturday, how are they so effective at spreading out a defense and then finding places to pick at you?
Just communicating and playing as a team. The offensive line is helping the quarterback with not letting people get to him, and when the quarterback has time to pass the ball, of course, he's going to complete it eventually.
Okey doke. Get Ethan here shortly.